Hello, and welcome back to Binge Club, the new series from the AV Club where we prep you, the audience, on everything you need to know before you decide to head out to the theaters. Today, we're talking about the upcoming film Mean Girls and its origins as a Broadway musical based on a film. I'm with my experts today, Cindy White, associate editor of the AV Club, and contributing writer, Liz Cooper-Smith. How are y'all doing today?
Great to be here, thanks.
Glad to have you. And we're glad to be talking about Mean Girls because this is one musical that has been, or actually a phenomenon, a social phenomenon. The movie, Tina Fey, Lindsay Lohan, and now we've got the musical. Tell us about it.
It's about time for an update. Sure, this one's the new movie set in modern times, so we've got 20 years of history. It's based on the Broadway show that premiered in 2018, closed in 2020 for COVID, and then never reopened again. But it is touring around the country, so you may see it come to your town. And also, there's lots of high school productions that have popped up because they released the rights to make it to high schools much earlier than most productions. So I'm sure that you have a chance to see it at some point.
Now, this is the Binge Club, and where we talk about films that we need to prepare so we can extract the most amount of value from this production. Not a lot of films to prepare for here, but if we were to look at maybe classic, fun, maybe comedies, high school comedies, what could we suggest our viewers watch?
I would say definitely watch the original Mean Girls, before in prep for this movie.
So fetch. So fetch.
Still not happening after all this time. We're not going to make it happen.
Stop trying to make fetch happen. I will never stop trying to make fetch happen.
Also, Reneé Rapp, who plays Regina George, was in an interesting show on Max called The Sex Lives of College Girls. So if you're interested at all in seeing some more stuff from her, check that show out. And Gary Rice, who plays Katie, the Lindsay Lohan role, she was in the Spider-Man movies as Betty Brant. So I think she has the most prominent role in Far From Home, so you can always watch that one too.
So Mean Girls is just another example of a phenomenon that we've kind of seen throughout history. A film that's been really popular, and they've adapted to the stage play because it enhanced with the musical and advancement, and then they've taken that stage play and put it back for the big screen. Mm-hmm. What are some other films, Liz, that you've seen them do that to that are your favorites?
Oh, I love Hairspray. I love Hairspray.
It's a good one.
I missed the first version of it with John Waters, but it was on Broadway, obviously, and then the movie from that is one of my favorite.
John Travolta.
It's great.
It's actually Good Morning
is great.
Baltimore is on my playlist for favorite upbeat songs. So I think that's my favorite example with John Travolta. And what's her name? Nikki Blonsky, is that her name?
Yeah, who played?
Who plays?
Yes.
Yeah. See.
One of my favorites is Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
The original movie. Not a lot of people know that it was based on a movie. It's black and white, cheesy movie with Jack Nicholson of all people, and then they made it into this fabulous Broadway. It was off Broadway originally and still running off Broadway from the writers of all the Disney movies, Alan Menken. And so it has beautiful music, and then they made it into this movie, and Rick Moranis is great in it. There's so many little comedic moments in it. It's one of my favorites.
And then also the producers.
How could we not mention the producer?
That movie is just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. A wonderful premise, just so well done. And they turn it to a musical and then turn that back into a movie with just, pretty much everybody's favorites, Nathan Lane and, Matthew Broderick, which, so it's just a great example of something that actually works.
We would be remiss if we didn't talk about the most recent one, which is The Color Purple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also such an enhancement on the original movie was fabulous. The Broadway show was amazing, and then you have the movie, which brings all that back together and brings it back to the screen, and it's wonderful.
So typically, this is the Binge Club. So we kind of tell the audience what to watch so they can prep for this movie, musical. So with this one, I think we should recommend
Mean Girls, the original movie. Sex Lives of College Girls. I would say Spider-Man if you want to get a little more of her in your life. And also I want to recommend the directors of this movie. It's their first time ever directing, but they did this series of shorts called Quarter Life Poetry, which you can find on Hulu. And it's really fabulous. So, and you may have already seen them because they're huge on Instagram and Tumblr. And so check those out as well.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Binge Club. I'm your host, Landon, and I know I certainly learned a lot. Thank you so much for being with us, Liz and Cindy. We'll see you next time.